Be more grind, rise, shine through the struggle. Black dollar circulate, flexing muscle. Politics and biz building walls like bricks. Motown soul rap mixed in the fix. Tiny cover spitting truth, microphone holder. Past the noise scene, watch growth in the folder. Black biz bright spotlight in the dark. Hustling hard, lighting sparks in the park. Be more new, we'll be breaking glass ceilings. All black every day, income healing. Donnie Glover, flip the script, let's go. Black Wall Street, roadmap, be more flow. Real talk, stock rise, dreams ain't looking hollow. Blueprints, handshakes, enemies wallow. Baltimore kings, queens, crown on the throne. Legacy built, stone by stone. Headlines, deadlines, moves in the background. Politics, money clips, elevate the town. Black beard strategists, wealth can't be missed. Twist the plot, make the whole world twist. Be more news, success we inhaling. Victories, iron rest, no detailing. Donnie Glover, rise to shine, let's glow. Focused on
GDP is $23 trillion. 23.
Be more grind, rise, shine through the struggle. Black dollar circulate, flexing muscle. Politics and biz building walls like bricks. Spitting truth, microphone holder. Past the noise scene, watch growth in the...
First name's Doni, last name's Glover. Entered to win it for the long haul, baby. Marsha Jews, how you living?
Good morning. I'm still standing and grateful. How you doing? Congratulations, brother.
Woohoo.
I saw you with some, what is it? Some orange and blue or something. What colors were? I saw something that you had on. What were you doing?
State. You know what time it is.
Congratulations, Donnie. I'm so proud of you. This is really good. You stayed the course, man. Now you just stirred the pot. I'm gonna have to go and get mine now.
Never too late. Morgan completes you. Wonderful program.
All right. Well, I'll keep that in mind because, you know, I still got this gray hair, but I better take advantage of it while I can, huh?
At least you got hair.
But you look so good without it.
Okay.
I'd be real worried about you if you had all this hair on your head, but you had to have.
Have you ever seen a Beijing before?
No, what is that?
You don't know what a Beijing is?
Beijing? Is that a salad? I don't know what it is. What is it?
It's a men's hairstyle where they put spray paint on their head.
Really? Is that something that you plan to do?
No.
I hope not. I wouldn't know what to think about that. I'd say, what's in the culture?
I'll have to ask Alexis Coates. If Alexis will try it, then at least I'll watch him.
And see, both of y'all don't need to be in the same room together with that foolishness.
Maybe Alexis Coates will try Beijing.
I doubt it, seriously.
See,
somebody would have to pay both of y'all some big money to make that happen.
It fills in the gaps where you don't have hair, so it's like a little spray paint.
Oh, okay. So you just spray it on. Well, you know, I could cut some off of mine and send it to you. You might be able to just stick it in. So.
I don't know. That's curl. I don't know if that, you know, I might look like a Jerry curl at that point.
I think it would be a lot of fun anyway. Nothing else.
Did you ever wear a Jerry curl?
A Jerry curl. Not really a Jerry curl, but I had my hair cut real short. And
no, a Jerry curl is when you put all of that activator in and you got to put the plastic bag on your head.
Oh, no, I don't know. I haven't had that experience. The plastic bag would kind of scare me.
Have you ever had pots and pans in the kitchen?
Yeah, because you cook with pots and pans. Is there something else that pots and pans do other than in the kitchen?
Yeah, pots and pans is when they got little bitty bees right there.
Oh, I've never heard of that before. Okay, pots and pans. Mm,
Unattended, tightly coiled hair.
unattended. That's
Tightly coiled hair.
tightly coiled. Okay, so somebody actually has to coil it.
Nappy, Marsha, just nappy. Okay, just nappy right there.
Oh, just in that one place.
Yeah, pots and pans in the kitchen.
Pots and pans in the kitchen. Okay.
Now
We,
you know.
I didn't hear about that in South Bend growing up. We didn't.
Okay. So what's been happening in the news? What have you been following?
Oh, I'm just trying to keep up with the fact that we have a president that is scary.
This
And,
guy's not a president.
pardon me,
This guy's not a real president.
he's not. And it's frightening that he sits in the White House on Pennsylvania Avenue. And I think that he has a problem with mental illness. His behavior is not such that gives me a feeling of comfort. And
JD Vance is the one that's scary looking to me. He looked like he's straight off of a Django movie.
it's all part of his crew. He associates himself with these certifiable people. They're all in this together.
Did
And
you see? Did you see the South African refugees coming here like they really victims?
and please note that they are not the Africans that we see coming into this
Oh, you
country.
thought they was gonna be black?
Well, see, Trump has his own idea of what should and should not be in the United States, and melanin is not one of his favorite colors.
Just so you know, the white South Africans originally came from the Netherlands. They're Dutch.
Mm. So how did they get there? How did they migrate?
So they like that's like people from America saying, white people from America saying that they were illegally treated.
Mhm. Well, I'll tell you something. With the president that's sitting in that White House, I have no comfort in his being in that position. I think that what I has been negative, that this man does not behave like somebody who is highly intelligent and has all of their mental capacity in place. It's a very uncomfortable position as I sit and think about my grandson growing up and my daughter, and here we have this person who doesn't care. He just flippantly responds. He flippantly gives an idea or a thought, and it's supposed to be magical, that it's wonderful, but he can't properly articulate a thought. That's frightening to me. His behavior with other nations, particularly those with melanin, is frightening, because it says to me that this person is putting us on a path to a place where the United States isn't prepared for what this man is trying to do.
Oscar, why he always be smelling his upper lip?
This man probably has some kind of drug that he inhales or puts, yeah, that look. But I think that I think the man is certifiable. He's certifiable. You never know what's coming out of his mouth, and it doesn't sound like an intelligent person. Seriously, I don't. I'm appalled.
He's got supporters. He's got people who have
Mhm.
up Trump signs. I wonder how long white people going with this fool.
Because those people who are following him because they're all part of that community. There's a
So,
community of people who are racist. There's a community of people who cannot stand anything but being in power. I'm sorry?
in power of what?
He
In
thinks
charge
he's
of
in
what?
power of not only the United States, the world. He
Grow
thinks
up.
he is the king. He's the king. He's the king. He has
Grow
given
up.
us carte blanche for him to be the king, and we're supposed to be very happy about all that, which doesn't even make sense to me.
While we running around, while we running around,
Hmm.
acting like we tough Tony. Do you know China got 1.4 billion people?
Yep, yep. That's a lot of folks.
We got 400 million. Do you know they could mash us? They can
And you
send
know,
400 million people and it's over.
he is so seriously, his mental capacity has been totally diminished if it was even there. And if this is the person who is sitting in power and making life or death decisions of what's supposed to happen, and there's no leadership, there's no leadership in this nation. This person behaves like somebody off the street. You can look and see some of the facial expressions, what he says. That's not something coming out of an intelligent person. It's something that's coming out of somebody who is mentally incapacitated. I sat there the other day, a couple of days ago, and there was a little thing on the news, and he couldn't finish a sentence. He had to think about it. It didn't flow. And then everything is all of, who is that? Somebody who had, Joyce, whatever, the person on TV, she's a minister. And she walks back and forth on the stage, and she says, it's all about me, it's all about me, it's all about me, it's all about me. And that is the same behavior that I see in this president. It's all about him. It's not about what needs to happen with our educational system, what needs to happen with everything that's going on in this country, people having jobs and all these things. And he doesn't get to that. He doesn't shape anything. When he talks, I feel like I'm listening to a puppet.
So, Marsha, I wanted to share. So, he's fired a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. And one of those people is Carla Hayden. I was on the Enoch Pratt Library Board when she was the president of the Enoch Pratt Library. And she got a job as the librarian for the country. And you sit and just fire her, Dr. Carla Hayden. How do you just arbitrarily do that because she's got melanin in her skin?
Well, because he has the intellectual capacity of a dyslexic sloth on a bag of fentanyl.
Ooh, that sounds good. We need to have that written down so I can use that on a regular. It's shameful, but it's real. It's real. He's disrespectful.
It's
Go ahead.
interesting watching the white reporters cover him.
Mm.
Not all,
Mm-hmm.
some really revere him. And like you say, it's purely about protecting whiteness. And the unfortunate thing is there's some good white people. But like Edmund Burke say, the only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. Like that whole
Mm-hmm.
assassination bid, I don't buy either one of them. I think they were both
At all.
ploys.
No, yeah. It was all set up. It was a setup. And that's the games that he and his the guy, what's his name, Elon, these two people are literally certifiable, really. And they should be in an insane asylum. And instead, they're running this country into the ground,
Some
into the
people,
ground.
and they're not going to learn until, it's kind of like you telling a baby, don't touch the stove. And that's what they're telling
Mm-hmm.
Donald Trump. Don't touch the stove.
Yep.
And he keeps wanting to
Mm-hmm.
go over there and touch the stove. And like any other baby, he's finally going to touch
Yep.
the stove and he's going to get scorched. You can't keep
Well,
going around doing cruddy stuff and it not catch you in the back of your head like a flying shoe.
oh, but see, he thinks that he is protected from all of that. He thinks
Karma,
he can just say what he wants to say, do what he wants to do, and he flippantly has these little words that he thinks it's just they're cute or it's just something that he can just throw out at somebody. And he's saying this to leaders of countries. He's flippantly being disrespectful to leaders of these other countries. And he thinks it's okay that he can just say what he wants to say, do what he wants to do. And that's supposed to be okay. And it's not. It's not. He has totally dismantled everything. And I'm looking at just last year at the Black Engineer of the Year Awards conference. All those generals that normally come, they are black generals. Flag officers is what they're called. And that banquet hall was not even half full. Trump prevented all of that. Now, when you sit down and you look at that, I couldn't help it. I've been around that particular event since they started it and staffed it. And I'm looking at all these men and women who had overcome all of the hurdles for them to have 1, 2, 3, and 4 stars on their shoulders. It's huge. And what did he do? That plate said, y'all don't need to be there. And there were only a few little sprinkling of people in that doggone banquet hall. And I've watched that whole program from the beginning, Stars and Stripes.
There's Michael Randolph. Where's Michael Randolph been?
Hey, Michael Randolph, what you been up to? Good morning. How's Tampa? I haven't been to Florida in a while. I get kind of scared to go down to Florida.
Because that is Trump country.
I ain't tried to fly down there.
I did my second book. I talked a lot about Florida.
Ratchet Florida.
For instance, did you know that there were pirates in Florida? Black pirates?
No, I didn't. What year was that?
I'd imagine 1700s.
Okay.
His name was Black Caesar. You never heard of Black Caesar?
No.
Yeah, just Google it. Black Caesar.
Black
Down in
Caesar.
Florida. Yeah, he lived in Biscayne Bay. He was a pirate. See, this is the part of history that we don't know about, that we're
Right.
all in. There's
So
a
you
show on Hulu called Black Sails. And Black Sails,
SAIL
yeah, like
as in
sailing a
ship.
ship.
Uh-huh.
And it does a lot to inform us about, when you're on the high seas, pretty much those are the biggest guns rule. So back during the days of slavery, it was nothing for people to go and try to rob the slave ships. And they would ultimately set the people free if it came down to beating this British vessel. You free the slaves, and they will help the enslaved people, and they will help you to take over the ship.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, his name is Black Caesar.
Black Caesar. I'll
A
have to have
pirate.
my Okay. I have to share
Yeah.
that with my grandson.
Yeah. He lived in roughly 1718 during the golden age of piracy.
Mm.
Black
So how,
Caesar. Yeah. When they hung him, and he was worth about $7 million.
how is that possible? How did he get the $7 million
They
from?
were robbing ships.
Okay. All right.
He had 7
That's a
million in
lot of
silver.
money. That's a lot
Yes,
of that's a lot of silver.
yeah. They make a great point right here. Blacks are more involved in, so much has been hidden from us.
Yeah.
We had on this show, they talk about the Black Watermen of the Chesapeake. We had Captain Pegues on, Darwin Pegues, only black tugboat captain in America. Blacks have always been involved in maritime. We just don't hear the stories.
And I wonder why that is, that they don't want us to know who we are and what we've accomplished.
Why don't we want to know who we are? You got it right there.
That's
You
true.
got it right there in your hand. You got Google. Stop playing the what's it called? Candy Crush.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stop doing this. If I see this one more time, I think I'll scream. You know what that is?
No.
Whoa, got my boots on the ground.
Oh,
Boots
okay.
on the ground to the library. Boots on the ground to the PTA meeting.
Okay.
We dance and all that. We dance too damn much. Seriously, I love to dance, but we dancing too damn much.
Yes, we are. Because we got a lot of stuff we've got to deal with it.
Yeah, I get it. You got to release the stress. They got this little baby, like 3 years old. They pushing on doing the dance.
But it's
Let a
cute.
3-year-old be a 3-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
Let these little girls be little girls. Dress them age appropriate. You're bringing up little strippers.
Is it that extreme? Is it that extreme?
You got grown men throwing dollars at little girls at their birthday parties.
Really?
Oh yeah, I've seen it with my own eyes.
Oh, why would they do that?
Because they're assholes.
Oh, well, that explains a lot.
Somebody didn't raise them. See, you got a lot of adult males and adult females, but that don't make them grown men or grown women. Who throws money at little girls?
I've not seen that.
If y'all have seen inappropriate stuff with little girls at parties,
not when I was.
Hey, look.
Not my child. Not my child.
At little kitty birthday parties, you playing, basic songs. If you're happy and I ain't saying you gotta,
Right.
but
Basic.
you ain't stripper music at a little girl's party.
But why does anybody
There
think
you go. There you go. There you go.
Right. Yes, sir. Main reason our communities are behind. Well, if you don't have leadership on a national level, on a local level, or in your home, or in your church, how you gonna get there from here?
It starts at home.
Hmm.
Everything starts at home.
Hmm. And a lot of that stuff, somebody playing these little stripper songs, that's not cute to me.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, I'm a grown man. Yes, I will look at a woman, but you look at what's going on. It's nothing is left to the imagination.
Hmm.
Baby girl and took off all her clothes and got 7 likes.
And it all started
And they
when
went all the way. They went all the way to Panama to do it.
I don't understand that. I
Yeah,
don't
you
understand.
do. It's the need
Well,
for
no.
attention.
But what kind of attention is that? It's
Joyce
something that
Myers, it's all about me. It's all about
all
me.
about
It's
me
all
walking on that stage back and forth. That's right. Because it is all about me, quote unquote. But who is me? Who are you really? And what does this really say about who you are? Nobody wants to be perfect, but there has to be boundaries of some sort.
Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. I talked to Dr. Ray Winbush yesterday. He reminded us of some of the teachings of Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. Noted, author, psychologist, the ISIS papers. Nobody else goes around calling their women
Mm. All these
bees.
things. All these things.
No other group is calling each other bees. Now, I don't know if you watched the Diddy trial. Yesterday I watched this testimony summary of what Sheila E. was saying. Sheila E. was saying essentially Prince felt he was going to die, felt like people like Diddy were going to put a hit on him. Essentially, oh my God, this thing is so. And then people say, oh, they just want to tear down a black man. This thing is deep. This thing is really deep. It's layered. It's a lot of people involved, and the names just need to come out of what. And then we have our young people, our young brothers in particular, who really want to be a part of this hip hop community, not knowing you get invited to this industry party, you better not drink nothing.
All that negativity, I mean, that's abuse. Those are sick people.
Well, that's rape. That's straight rape.
Oh, no question. No question. Because if you got somebody drunk or high off of some kind of drug, now it is just what you said. It is rape. If you don't have your sense about you, then what can you do? But you don't need to be in that place in the first
place. Who
place.
to mess with, though. See, a bully know who to mess with.
Mm-hmm.
A bully knows who to mess with.
Right.
I say the bully only understands one thing, and that's an alley apple.
An alley apple?
Yes, a brick.
What's that? Oh, that you throw.
No. You place it. You place it right there. You place it.
Oh. Okay.
Ma!
Oh, and you do that with a brick?
An alley apple.
An alley apple.
Let's get your East Baltimore vernacular.
Oh, okay, excuse me. I just didn't know.
You live in East Baltimore, don't you? Okay. How do we heal from past trauma, Marcia? I think first you got to acknowledge it. And
that's number one.
So this is a really great question, because yesterday I put out, Larry Gibson advised Wes Moore to veto the reparations.
Mm.
You didn't see that?
No, I didn't. I've been involved.
On Friday, the governor decided to veto reparations in the state of Maryland. And Larry Gibson's logic was veto it essentially because it would mar his chances at running for president. Larry Gibson's thinking long term. Veto the reparations. Nobody can say you were responsible for blacks getting reparations in Maryland, and that way you can run for president and still have access to the white vote. That's what Larry Gibson's.
Mm.
They want to take R out of the equation. So we're going to give you money, but we're not going to call it reparations.
Different name. Well, one thing.
So let me just throw this in there. On that note, Ray Bush said the Japanese didn't do that. Reparations. Native Americans do that. Give us reparations. The Jews didn't do that. Reparations. And they got, it was either 90 or 190 billion dollars from Germany, the Jews, for the Holocaust. How much money do you think we are owed?
Oh, multiply that by 12,000. I think if we have people who are highly intelligent who look at long-term, short-term, and they see that based on experiences of the things that have occurred throughout all of these years, and you can include reparations and everything else, and you look at that, at some point, we have to start making decisions about how we move forward as a people without being separated. And how do we bring ourselves together to have these conversations? And to hire the right people to be in position or vote for the right person.
I'm glad you said that. Where do we come off with being gatekeepers to our own community? I went out to the Preakness Saturday, and I tell you, you give a security guard the power to keep your event in order. Why do we over police black people? What you gonna steal out at the Preakness? A horse?
Well, you know, they're the people who own that track. The ownership of the track makes its own decision, and it's based right there in your neck of the woods in West Baltimore. So they have a sense of what could be.
Who spent $250 to get into a tent on the infield, staying in a line, and black people were holding them up. And it's like, why are you holding these people in line? And they paid you all this money, and one lady fell out.
What do you mean?
She fell out.
What? Was she drunk?
She might have had some Grey Goose the night before, got out there, didn't drink enough water, and that heat punched in the face. And yeah, they had to call an ambulance.
Wow. Oh, I hope she's okay.
If you go out there in the heat, you got to drink water. You got to wear a hat. What does the federal government and Maryland? We're gonna really have to work on this. Okay, have in common. They both lost. Seriously, we're trying to teach the kids. Run this thing through spell check first.
Only you.
We're not gonna keep playing with people. You put this stuff up here, it better make sense. Make it make sense. Oh yeah, you know Maryland lost his. Thank you, Michael Randolph. Great job. Maryland lost. Did you know Maryland lost its Moody's credit rating?
Really? No, the state?
The state of Maryland. Oh,
what did it say? I know you got it written.
Oh, I didn't touch it yet. I just learned of it yesterday. It's so much. Maryland AAA AAA bond rating. So that's how much credit the state got. So here's the story. News. Maryland loses coveted AAA bond rating.
Why?
State credit downgrade. Loses long time. This is a long time. Fitch maintained Maryland's AAA rating following downgrade, blah, blah, blah. Half of these people want you paying them some money. I'm not paying the Baltimore Banner. Somebody sent me an article. I'm not paying the Baltimore Banner. You better support black media. I'm not paying you nothing. I'm not paying the Baltimore Sun nothing. With all due respect, I'm not paying you nothing.
And why not?
The Sun newspaper's like $5.
That's not expensive, is it? Is that a daily paper that's $5 per paper?
I'm not paying you nothing.
And why not?
Paying you all of the harm that the Baltimore Sun has done to black. Remember when the Banner came on the scene? Now right now you got Armstrong. What's his name? Chocolate ball head brother.
Yeah.
Armstrong Williams.
Right.
He was the Baltimore Sun. He's with Fox. Did you know that?
I don't follow Armstrong.
America's leading black conservative. So he runs the Baltimore Sun, and support black media. The Baltimore Sun, when the Banner came on the scene, the Baltimore Sun apologized to black people. Marsha, you didn't remember this? Marsha, I'm giving y'all pay attention now. Watch this. Marsha, what happened when you went down there to confront the Baltimore Sun years ago?
Oh my gosh, that's been a minute.
You were in the boardroom.
Mm-hmm.
It was you, the white lady, the white man.
Yep. And I went off, I believe. My
Why?
voice went up a couple of octaves because
Why?
I was tired of all the racist things that they were putting in the paper and all of the information that they weren't putting in the paper.
Yeah. So I'm supposed to pay one of these entities for news? I'm going to pay you for your racist rhetoric?
Mm-hmm.
We have the Afro newspaper. We have the Baltimore Times. The Baltimore Times, you can find that everywhere. I think the only way you get the Afro is, you got to get it in the mail. But we have to support the black media that we have.
Yes.
Baltimore Times is right over there on Charles Street, just above 25th Street.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And it's important that we get subscriptions. We have to keep them in place. We can't just disregard all that needs to be done. We need to be able to have relationships with our media. Doni, you're out and about all over everywhere. And it's important that we hear your voice. It's critical. Be it online, be it in paper. We have to. How else are we going to make certain that our community knows exactly what's happening? And there's so many changes that are going on in this city. How do we manage that? And how can we share that information within our own communities? And you got a little smirk on your face. What? Go ahead. That part.
Quaff.
Yes. It's just
You knew this was coming one day. That's an inside joke, folks.
I tell everybody all the time, Donnie Glover is my brother from another mother. And one, he is absolutely brilliant.
Oh, to God be the glory.
Absolutely brilliant. But he's funny as I don't know what. So I think that it's really wonderful to see him when he's real serious and on programs such as yours, to be able to talk about what we have in this community. And Doni, you keep people online, you keep them informed, and that's really important.
Well, let me say that. If I'm going to tell one side, I better tell the other side.
Go ahead.
Maryland has failed thus far when it comes to reparations. Failed.
Okay.
Only state with a black governor in the nation.
Isn't
and the
it
rest
something?
of the nation is looking at us and saying, That's your man's in them. But to this governor's credit, he put almost $50 million in the West North Avenue.
Mm-hmm. And that's huge.
It's huge.
It's
But
huge.
reparations, let me just say, let's look it up. Let's look it up. Have you ever looked it up?
No.
Okay, so let me show you how it works.
All right.
How much did Germany pay Holocaust survivors?
Mm.
$90 billion since 1952. $90 billion since 1952. So you take slavery in America. Now let me tell you, because these people got their facts wrong. They run around talking about the 1619 Project. Get your damn facts straight. In I Am Black Wall Street, we give you the history that black people been in this country at least 100 years before that. I want to say 1525.
Okay.
Down in the Gullah Islands.
That's a long time.
1619 is late.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, the Spanish and the Portuguese were all through South America. That's why you got 100 million black people in Brazil. And let me tell you this is what a lot of us don't know. This is some basic history.
Okay.
You don't have to sit in a world history class to learn this. I want you to hear me.
Okay.
What's his name? The dude that they say discovered America.
Christopher Columbus.
Now, to be clear, you can't discover something where
Oh,
people
it's already there. That part.
The people are already there. So you didn't discover it. You stumbled upon a civilization. You stumbled. You didn't discover. You stumbled. And you came there with larceny in your heart because we know
No question.
had a track record of theft and rape and murder and genocide.
Mm-hmm.
The same thing that we have seen when the Europeans go, like, I don't know, Australia. We think we went through something as black people in the United States. Check out what the Australians went through. And I'm not talking about the new Australians, the Aussies. I'm not talking about the Aussies. We're talking about they're called, and it's such an ugly term if you think about it, Aborigines.
Yes. I've wondered about that.
The indigenous people, indigenous.
And why is that?
Australia. Those people got dogged.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, the castrations that went on in Australia is just heart-wrenching.
Well, I think one of the things that used to bother me just in high school, and you'd have to go through those history classes. And I always walked away, and I had this conversation a couple of weeks ago with somebody. Like, I don't feel like I got the real story.
Of course not. Because you got somebody who don't know their own damn history trying to tell you yours. And that's why I tell people, be careful with Ancestry.com. My father told me his grandmother was a Blackfoot Indian. There's no sampling. If you use Ancestry.com, notice there's no sampling of Black Indians.
No sampling. How is that possible if that's not giving you the whole picture?
They don't acknowledge that blacks were here before Christopher Columbus rapist self got here with his cohort.
They did.
Rapists.
And they did. And in many cases, we still have some of these problems.
Oh, yeah.
Some of that hasn't gone away.
Can you imagine somebody trying to say your ancestors were less than a human being? And that's what people like this Trump guy want to resurrect. But I got to tell you this, and this is no slight. I've talked with white people about it, some of my white friends. Matter of fact, one of them brought it to my attention yesterday. Say, Doni, We were over here doing work, and we saw this white couple, and the lady stood in the middle of the street for 45 minutes, higher than a Georgia pine. I had to tell a white guy last night, I think it was a guy because I can't really tell. Stop asking me for money. I said, go to treatment. You know what he said? I'm not ready. I said, well, stop asking me for damn money.
But why are they standing on the corner?
Why don't Trump come and get him? That's what I want to know. Since you paint this picture of blacks on welfare like we wealth, that's what we do. Actually, you got more white people on welfare than black people. Well, number two, when you consider them golden parachutes that white corporate CEOs got welfare to the nth degree. So get your damn terminology right and fix your damn hair. What's wrong with the boy's hair? It looked like a helicopter just about to take off.
That's your boy.
That's my man's in them.
Right.
I wonder if Steve Harvey want to go to this White House.
Mm.
Remember, he went to see Trump last time. They caught him on camera, and he had this goofy look on his face. I was so mad at him. Like, dude, you there? Man up. Put your game face on.
You got to be ready. You always got to be ready.
I never asked you this. What did you think of the whole? What's the athlete with the talk show, former football player, and he got hit.
Oh, I see his face, but I don't know his name. With the young girl,
Monique told him, "You need to get yourself an older black woman to rub your feet, cook your meal."
Well, you know,
Shannon Sharp
think that they have to. Yes, that's it. Sharp. That the game is crazy because you put yourself in a position of power. You're sitting there, you got a TV show, you've done all these wonderful things, quote unquote, and then let's just throw it away. I can just go do this because I can do what I want to do because I've got power and I've got influence and I've got a TV show. And it was just snatched away in a nanosecond.
Or
you thought you were.
You jeopardized.
You gave it away because you said, you opened up your mouth and you put yourself in that position. Because you already know when you got that melanin in your skin, you better come correct. And you're going to do something like that with somebody who does not look with you, that does not have that melanin, and you going to sit there and go and do all this stuff and act like you in charge and you got the power? Oh, but you're unemployed now.
I saw a clip of him.
Probably unemployable at this point.
I saw a clip
unless you're going to get some kind of online show that people aren't going to watch.
I saw him online making fun of a prostitute. Said that she made money on her back. I'll say this. I have more respect for some of these prostitutes, people who sell their sex, than I do for some of these so-called celebrities who are so pious. I didn't think it was right for him to make fun of this prostitute. I didn't get the full story, but I didn't think it was, you are well off. Why would you laugh at somebody who makes money that way? If you can't help them, then you have the ability to help that person, right?
Well, but you have to have a person who does not see themselves above. I'm sorry.
You don't know what drove that person to becoming a prostitute.
When you think about that, you're above everybody.
But for the grace of God, there go I. Yeah. I think we lost Marsha there. She might have froze up. But if
That's
God,
exactly
there you go.
And
If
he
God,
put himself in that position. He
if
thought
God
that
gives you,
the power was all in him. He has the power, but
this show can be gone at any time.
now he's unemployed.
And that's another thing.
And,
If you don't own the platform, you might want to be careful.
and I would imagine unemployable. So
I didn't think he was that interested from jump, especially when
it's
you got to get
crazy.
people to get them to open up. I mean, that's just
It's
not real.
crazy. But they love it, you know. Say it again.
Yeah, and we got to watch what we love. We have an appetite. They say if you want to be a lion and you're a cat, you got to lose your appetite for rats. If you're a lion, if you're a cat and you want to be a lion, you have to lose your appetite for rats. Can you hear me?
It's spinning.
Huh?
Well, I think, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I don't know what's
Okay, we'll try
going
it again.
on with my.
Try it again. But if you're going to be in a position of leadership, you got to use your position to help people. And anybody can throw rocks. We got to help our people. This platform here is not necessarily CNN, but I know I have a responsibility. People like Mary Carter Smith over at WEAA made us know that you have an obligation to lift up your people. We have an obligation to carry forth the work of Harriet Tubman, even in 2025, even in this world of social media. We have an obligation. We have an obligation to teach our children. We have an obligation to properly represent our children. How you doing? You there?
I don't know what's going on with this. My little. Anyway.
Okay, well, I put it out to bring you back in. Are you good now?
Yep, I think so.
Okay, so tell me about media responsibility. What do Black media professionals, tell me about that responsibility.
That you have to be able to tell the truth. You have to, our responsibility as media is to take the time to research, to get the information. You can't just flippantly guess. There has to be some thought to it, some research that people can actually believe. You can't just say, oh, this is what I want to do, and it's supposed to be okay, and it's not okay. We have to, there's a responsibility. You have to do the research. You have to have the unction to want to give people the proper information. Or if you don't give people that information, why are you there?
You're
and
right.
Doni, you do your show every day. And that's a big responsibility. That's a lot of work, really.
Tyrone Tavon helps out with that, though. It's a team effort.
That's
and you don't have to do everything by yourself, but you do have to share your platform, and you have to grow new journalists.
Mm-hmm.
I look at something. I'm writing my 4th book. I should have a book out in the next month or so.
Right on.
One of the things we fail to do, and I've seen it in academia, I've seen it in church, I've seen it in our organizations, our civil rights organizations. We got people who don't want to pass the ball.
Mm-hmm.
They 60 and 70 years old and they have not passed the ball. It's like, is this your organization or is it ours?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And then you get somebody like Al Sharpton getting up there or Jesse Jackson, and they holding you hostage.
Why do you say that? Holding us hostage. How so?
Like you catch a white corporation doing dirty stuff, and then you go over there and say, "Look, I can make it better, but you got to pay me."
Mm,
And then I get the money, and I don't talk about you no more. And I go to Dubai, and I have somebody running the Donnie Glover show for like 6 months.
right.
Or you say, "Look, I caught you dirty,
Hmm. What
and
you
you
gonna
give
do?
me money,
Hmm.
and then I employ like 30 people." That's what we're supposed to do.
It's building.
Yeah,
It's building the infrastructure for an organization.
yeah. You pay people. You spread it around in your community. You create jobs, businesses. With all due respect, we got a lot of churches, not a lot of businesses like we could.
But how do we
Rid of
expand
them
that?
greedy ass preachers. You got preachers in there who talking about they love God and all they love is going to the bank.
Mm.
You got an ATM in your church, Slim. We never had no damn ATM in the church.
Wait a minute. Wait.
That's not new. ATMs in the church.
Okay. Well, I guess I need to go to church more because I haven't been in a church.
Nobody want to be dealing with that foolishness.
Wow. Hmm. That's interesting. But I think also, how do we make certain that our young people are getting the best of us, be it in the church, be it in the community? How do
Oh, we
we?
got to go to the corner and talk to them, self included.
Hmm.
And for me, that means going to Cary and Lawrence and Pennsylvania and Lawrence and saying, "Here, bro, I got a phone number for you to get you a job."
Hmm.
Because ain't nobody going to save them.
That's right. We got to save ourselves.
And we already have this connotation of who they are, and we haven't really heard their pain. Our young people are hurting.
Yes.
They're dealing
Yes.
with mental health issues. You know, it started off with a little weed. Start
Hmm.
off with a little weed. Start off with the blunts. Next thing you
Hmm.
know,
It's something
same
bigger.
young boy you saw puffing that blunt 3 years ago.
Hmm. Now he's shooting it up.
Well, I won't say he's shooting dope, but he
Hmm.
might have that lean in him. He might have that Robitussin. Eyes won't open. Now
Hmm. Hmm.
that heroin have a cat in a complete Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down. You ain't never seen that, have you? Oh, that's right. You live in East Baltimore.
I see him. I see him
Cat
on
bends
a.
all the way over.
Uh-huh. But it don't hit it, don't
But it's
fall.
mind blowing to see the white addicts. Now, when they
Hmm.
start, when a white boy bring a package to
Oh,
Pennsylvania Avenue, that's when I think
it's it's real. You
uh,
know,
that's that's when you're gonna have a war.
to get them out the way. You know, years ago, I was part of an organization, and we had programs for middle school kids, right? And we did a camp out at UMBC. And I'll never forget this as long as I live. And young, it's 11 to 13 age group. And he's sitting up in the bleachers. Everybody else was on the floor playing. He's sitting up there, and I go and I talk to him, and I said, we've got this all for you, and we really want you to get excited about it, and come on, and I'm trying to be the cheerleader. And he looked at me and he said, "Miss Marcia, you always trying to make somebody happy and giggle. You always trying to stir them up and get them all happy." He said, "I don't even see myself living past 13. I'll never forget that as long as I live. If And we are still looking at children who don't have hope, who don't see themselves living past 13. They're in an environment that is so cruel and so painful. And how do we change that? We talk about all these wonderful things that are going on, but how do we bring them to that? And how do we create an environment in their household? That part. I don't care about another big party or another event or another. We need to put our arms around some of these young people. And to help them see themselves somewhere other than in a doggone cemetery.
No, Marsha, we going to happy hour tonight with boots on the ground. The hell with the PTA meeting, the hell with the community meeting. We going to happy hour. Y'all come back now. You hear?
Isn't that deep? That part.
Thank you for joining us this morning, Marsha. Any final thoughts?
Doni, just thank you. Thank you for having us. Thank you for doing what you do. And just so proud of you and all that you've accomplished. Just stay the course, brother. You're doing well. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I don't know if this Golden Dragon is a joke, but I have been to Golden Dragon. I was hanging out with White Mike out Liberty Road. And Golden Dragon don't close till like 3 o'clock in the morning. They got this shrimp toast there. I have had that shrimp toast. It is mean.
Shrimp toast? Well, you got to take me to it. Shrimp toast. Thank you, Doni.
They do have a lot of options out there, but that damn jerk chicken, I'm not paying nobody no for the damn jerk chicken. That's why when I go to New York, I go to Jacob's. I give me one of them containers. Fill that joint up with jerk chicken. Nothing lasts me a couple of days. Because Baltimore, Jamaica's on some real gangster stick up. I'm not giving you $20 Give me a whole bunch of rice, a whole bunch of red beans, and you give me one little piece of jerk chicken. I'm not from that mob, Slim. I've been to Jamaica. Wagwan. Give me my $20 worth of what?
Now, boy, I need to know. Thanks, Doni.
Actually, they ain't got a whole lot of knives down there. They got the machetes. You ever been to Jamaica?
Yes, sir.
If you only been to the resort, you have not been to Jamaica. If you never left the resort, you were not in Jamaica. You were in a hotel. Me way up in the mountains, St. Anne, St. Elizabeth, way up there, where the people strong and fit. Pineapples falling right off the tree, boy.
There you go. Well, let me know when you come back.
People say they've been to Jamaica. The Jamaicans say, you never met a hustler till you met a Jamaican hustler.
Or Trinidadian, huh?
No, they ain't mentioned Trinity.
Yeah, Trinity's man, something.
Shout out to Haiti, though. Shout out to Haiti. We don't know what Haiti is. I got to get you this. I got to ask you this. Do you know why Haiti is so hated?
No.
Every black person out there should know the answer to this question.
But you're going to tell us.
Yeah. You will never hear anything good about Haiti through Western media. This is Western media. We're in the West.
Yes.
You will never hear anything good on Haiti because Haiti is the only country in the Western Hemisphere where the black people took out the French, the European colonizers, took them all the way out. Ask Napoleon. Oh, you can't ask him, he did. The Haitian Revolution. Every black person should know about the Haitian Revolution. Toussaint Louverture, Jean-Jacques Dessalines, Henry Christophe. Second black newspaper. First black newspaper was Sierra Leone. Second black newspaper was Haiti. Freedom's Journal in the United States was the third black newspaper in the diaspora. So America did not have the first black newspaper. Freedom's Journal was not the first black newspaper. We came some years later, about 20 years later. Shout out to all our black journalists. My name's Donnie Glover. Thank you, Marsha Jews. Good morning,
Thank
world.
you. Thank you. Have a nice day.